more ad-libbing, talk about worst experience in gaming. Nothing else is going
Oh
on.
God. Oh God. This is gonna be good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because I
but
have a recent one, so this topic is right on time.
yeah, I put non-Madden because that's like obvious.
Right.
So
Oh well, yeah.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
obvious. So that's why I
Madden
just put that
11
in
would
the
have popped
title.
up frequently if that
Right,
was the
exactly.
case.
It's like, I mean, that'll make it too easy. So first in Framerates episode 135. Worst gaming experience. That's gonna be the topic. I'm not even trying to dwell on to add any build up to it. iTunes, SoundCloud, all the other stuff. You know, I have a TikTok, but obviously Bill's told me that shit's for dancing, so don't worry about that.
That shit is for
Man,
kids.
I'm
are.
taking that shit clean up out of the description. I'm gonna kill that account because it does not work for like what I want to do with it. It's terrible. But like I said, iTunes, SoundCloud, you can catch us there. Catch DJ's content. He's been putting content up lately.
2 pieces of content this time.
Right.
There's activity. There's life on the page.
Yeah, I've been checking it out myself, so that works. Bills, what's been going on with you?
I've just been I've been over there chilling, honestly. Just same shit, different day. I predicted 2 weeks, and look at the cases dropping. Everybody said the world was gonna end, and we're not even through 2 weeks yet, and we're just fine. So
I can say that the
the
American people have done a
we're
pretty good
acting
job
like
with
this
this
is
whole
Armageddon.
situation. What'd you say?
I mean, nah, it's just everybody was thinking it was Armageddon because the government comes out and says, "Oh, this is going to be the worst 2 weeks," and blah, 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 and yeah, here we are. Like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the American people did a pretty good job of doing what they have to do to keep things in order. So that's a good deal.
Yeah, I'm about to say if they
wait,
if they played like everything was just fine to the public, then it would be Armageddon. So thank God that people played their parts. Governor plays their roles, and that's that. And Cheetos in the office did what little he did.
Right.
But everything else, anyway.
Right. So.
As far as the week has been so far, today was a good day. Well, minus the fact that we had a pipe burst in our neighborhood, so we were without running water for a good couple of hours.
Oh, damn.
So, and I got my shipment of Rogue Energy. So I'm going to be testing that out for the next, I think, 29 doses. Because I already took 1 dose today. It's like a powdery drink, and the name of the company is called Rogue. So I think they just started, I think, as of last year. So it's an alternative energy drink.
Okay.
I'm trying. So I'm not going to say much more here, but I'm going to try it out and see how it is. So far, so good.
You should do a video on a review of it if it turns out pretty good.
That's the plan. I'm either gonna do an article / video after I'm done.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
But other than that, sitting here watching a replay of Game 7 of the World Series. Been gaming. Been playing State of K2. Been playing Death Stranding. I don't think a lot of people are expecting that.
That was the last game I bought before I got rid of my PS4, and I never got into it. How was it so far?
I like it. I'm the type that likes those resource management. Yeah, it is a fetch quest. I'm like, the game's been out long enough. I can say it. You're pretty much a mail courier.
Right.
In the likes of the Postman, which I've been saying when we first talked about that game. And I haven't come across any of the big boss battles or stuff like that. But I like resource management. I like using strategy to traverse a map. I like the realism when it comes to balancing logistics with your packages, having to use certain controls to like balance yourself and yeah, it's a lot to do, and there's a lot that you have to learn, but once you get used to it, I got used to it real quick. I don't know. Everybody seemed like they were mad at the controls because they're so used to slamming the analog stick forward to move. It's a subtle game, but and also the story so far, I'm catching a lot of the themes that are thrown in there, so I like it.
Okay, because I was thinking about. I mean, obviously, I still have the game. I just don't have my PS4. I still got like that's crazy. I still have like 50 games for my PS4 and don't have a PS4 Pro, and it's kind of crazy. I need to get one eventually. Again, I don't have any interest in the Xbox, but I do need to get my PS4 back. I honestly miss my PS4. As for me, what I've been doing this week, I've been buying a lot of HDMI cables for my old consoles because I've been using a lot of upscalers, and the upscalers are cool, and you get a pretty good image out of it. But the problem with it is, it doesn't go well with my capture card. And what I want to do is, I want to capture footage so I can like stream and do content with them. But the upscaler just doesn't work too well with it. So what I've been doing is buying some. I know. Here you go, baby. Here you go. I'm feeding my son. I've been buying HDMI cords that works for older consoles, and they've been working pretty good. So I'm definitely going to be putting some more content up outside of the football stuff. Outside of that, me and my wife, I know this is a little inside baseball, probably has nothing to do with what we talk about on the podcast. But me and my wife are just basically trying to navigate what we're going to do with this virus and how we're going to come out of it, financially. So that's been keeping up most of my time throughout this weekend. And, well, the past few days I was off. And, besides toying with a bunch of stuff down here, because half of my game room is down here in our second bedroom. And, and we're going to talk about moving the actual game room, make that to be a guest bedroom. So that's probably what's going to happen within the next next 3 weeks or so. So that's the plan, and that's what's going on. Nevertheless, worst gaming experiences. Obviously, all three of us had bad experiences with games. Most of them, I can probably speak for all three of us as well, has been with Madden since Madden came to PS3 and 360. It's too easy to beat that dead horse. It's way too easy. It's one of the reasons why all three of us got on YouTube to begin with. So that's why I put the non-Madden experience and what experience that we had outside of that. I know it could be a lot of different games. I mean, it doesn't have to be tied to just one. So basically, we can just start talking. And like Bills, I know you said the other day or earlier, you said you had one recently. If you want to start off, we can go with that.
Okay, so everybody knows that I've been playing my Xbox 360 because I haven't bought an Xbox One X again, right?
Right.
So my dumbass, this is where the quarantine has me at this point. I was like, yo, I got this Live 07 sitting here.
Oh my God.
I had to go back and see how bad this game was. Bro, when I tell you that is the worst basketball game ever made, all consoles considered.
Not past 2K9 though.
That shit makes 2K9 look like 2K11.
And this is the 360 version, correct?
360 version.
I was about to say because the original Xbox version is actually not that bad.
Bro, the shit is like it's all hitchy and fucking the takeoff animation. Like people talked about the takeoff animations, like the transition from like gather to jumping in Live 14. Y'all ain't seen shit. Y'all need to go back and play Live 07. Oh my God, that game. Ugh.
Wow.
Ugh. That's all I gotta say is ugh.
I don't have the game. I mean, I think I sent you Live 09 a while back.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only live I had that was before Live 10 on 360.
Bro, Live 07 is a fucking abomination.
I may have Live 08. But
I mean, I don't even have words.
What are the controls like?
I mean, they're similar to what the controls are for Live now. It's not really that much different.
Nothing much is digressed or anything. It's just
they had the abilities, like you know how they had on NBA Live 06.
Right, the different like, sharpshooter ones and all that.
Yeah, they had those, but I mean, it doesn't even really matter what the control scheme is because nothing worked anyway. So it doesn't even like nothing worked. So the control scheme, it doesn't matter even if they had shooting on fucking triangle. It wouldn't matter. Like that game was flawed in so many ways. Like I can't even get into all the ways. Like it's more self-explanatory if you go and just watch gameplay of it. I mean, that game is awful.
Oh wow. You may want to play it because it's so bad just to experience it. Because I played Live 6 on the 360, but I didn't play Live again until Live 09. So
it is worth it to go back and see how bad that fucking game is.
I'm gonna check and see how much that game costs. It's probably like 35 cents or something.
Dude, they were charging like close to $1 at GameStop for this. Oh, this is fucking highway robbery. Y'all should be paying me to play this piece of shit. Bro, that game is awful. If that T-Mac had to be stuck with that game, that's the game he gets the cover for.
Oh, he got the cover for it too. Sure did.
Damn.
And Live 06 was even. You know what?
It's $5 on eBay.
That person needs to be slapped. That shit better all be shipping.
Let me see. Shipping is free.
Oh hell nah, fuck that. Nah. Somebody need to roll up to that dude.
It's $4.20. I got found it for $4.20. No, I found it for 99 cents on eBay.
Nah. They ain't no way. Nah, don't waste your $4.20. Go get you a hamburger or something. Bro,
it's 99 cents. Talking about with the cover and manual only, no disc.
Oh my god. So that's for collectors, basically.
Basically, that's for a collector who just have the disc only.
So here's the thing. So actually, I take that back. As bad as Live 07 was, Live 06 was even worse.
Live 06 was bad. On the 360, it was. Now
Live 06 was every bit as bad as Live 07 was, minus the signature jump shots. They didn't even have that in the game.
And see, that's funny. That's funny because the 06 version on the PS2 and the 360, I mean the PS2 and the original Xbox, they had the signature stuff in 06. I think.
They weren't bad.
No, I mean, it's just funny how much was stripped out of the game when it went over to the next generation.
But yeah,
we know how that goes.
So I mean, that's my first one. I have a couple more I'll bring up.
DJ, what you got?
DJ goes.
Okay, so one that I had, I think a while ago was with Homefront 2.
Oh God.
That's another one. I'm like, the fact that there was warnings about this game being bad, but I was just like, well, let me give it a chance. Seemed like it'd be something that I can get some fun out of it. No, I was wrong. I was incredibly wrong. I went in there first. I think the one picture I shared of one of the characters on there, it's supposed to look like a woman, but it looked like the graphics. It looked like it was an abstract painting. That's how bad the graphics looked. God. When I was sitting there just looking, I was just like, why does it look like the coloring is smeared on her face? It just looks so
Jesus Christ.
bad. Like, you know, as a kid, they tell you the color inside the lines. It was like,
there's like, fuck that.
Yeah, the graphic artist was just like, nah, that's okay. We're going to make this game different.
Yeah, he's like, ain't nobody going to buy the shit anyway.
Yeah,
here goes DJ.
I bought the game too. I think I still have it upstairs. What, it went through like 3 different developers or something like that?
Yeah, it went through all type of development hell. Let's see. But that was number 1. Well, we already went through number 2 because, you know, the graphics thing was number 2. The development hell is number 1. So number 3 was the damn game, the mechanics, the gameplay, the shooting. You couldn't really aim. What was it? The fact that you could assemble your weapon into different types of weapons because you were a terrorist at this point. That was stupid. It was a terrible choice, and it's like I had no fun at all switching between those two because a lot of times I get caught in a firefight and I forget like where the freaking mechanic control button for it is, and let's see, the AI horrible. I was just sitting there. My teammate AI, my friendly AI is like running in front of my shots. The enemy AI is just like spawning in and running in front of into my bullets. And it was just
my question is,
what the hell?
My question is, yes, what the hell? That's the first question. Secondly, are there any positives to this at all? Any at all?
I can answer for DJ. No. Personally, no. I'm saying Homefront Revolution, the new one, the Homefront 2 was terrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was just, and it had the nerve to be open world.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I'm like, you had like stuff that popped up. I'm like, the cool stuff. I think the only cool stuff about it was the fact that you could find different paths to get the stuff. But other than that, they had the nerve to give you a motorcycle that you can jump on and hurry out of situations. But then that was even convoluted because you're in the middle of a firefight and you happen to be near like one of those garages where a motorcycle, you get in there and you fly out of there without being shot, which I find highly unlikely because in most games you try to get into a vehicle, they're shooting you right out the gate. So yeah, that's why I'm like, I tried to play it again recently, like within the last couple of months, and I was bored.
Sometimes you have to go back to these games to remind yourself just how shitty they were. It's like it's kind of like for historical context.
Yeah, sometimes you try to pull some goodness out of a bad game, knowing that it's fucked up. You like,
no one is fucked up.
Trying to get something out of this,
right?
Shoot, I can't even begin to think of the other game, Evolve. But that's a different story altogether. Yeah, that's
a different can of worms.
So
that game had a lot of promise. That just goes to show you how inept this generation was when it came to developing games. Like the PS2 era, that would have never happened. Hell, even in the PS3 era, that would never happen. I mean, these games would have been worked on until it was done. I just don't understand. Like, this generation tried to give you this games as a service, and that was a real bad casualty of it.
Yeah, it gave you games as a disservice. Pretty much, basically did.
So, what's yours, VF?
Right. My son is so hungry.
He's not hungry. He's trying to feed it to me.
Are you trying to feed you?
He's mad because I ate it all.
Yeah, he's like, I said take some, not all of it. Oh man,
he's over here fussing. I think he wants something. No, he's trying to feed my wife, and
he's like, y'all don't follow the rules of this house.
He said, fam, I said take one. Oh my god. All right, what you got, VF?
He's a mess. I mean, he's growing up so fast. Like I built a basketball goal up for him, and he was afraid of it because it was like over his head.
Oh yeah.
Like now he plays with it all the time. Now he's like shooting on it, dunking on it, because I got it like slightly over his head so it won't be too high so he can shoot. Mm-hmm. He's doing that now. He's running. Yeah, obviously you can tell he's feeding us now. I mean, he was
Madden 08, 25, and 20.
Oh, he tripping. Oh, he said, I'm about to say the worst games. I was like, whoa.
He already violated the whole non-Madden topic.
He did, though. He did.
Madden 08, is that PS2, PC?
Yeah, is that PS2,
360?
I mean, sort of, you can't go wrong with any other three. All three of them are good. But just out of curiosity. For me, let me give you my DJ took one of my games. Home for I'm gonna go like generation is far. I'm gonna start with the current one, and we'll go back as we go around in circles about our games. Mm-hmm. This generation definitely was Homefront Revolution. That was the worst game experience I had this generation. The second one was Call of Duty Ghosts. The game wasn't bad. It was just the worst because of it felt like it was an early PS3 game to me. It felt like it was just another rendition of a Modern Warfare game on a next-gen console. It's just basically those two. Everything what DJ said about Homefront, I can copy exactly what he said. But Ghost was like so hyped to be something good, and the name of it even sound kind of dope. But when you start playing it, be like, the game was terrible.
How about the fact that they weren't smart enough to not give you camo that matched the fucking map you were playing on?
Right, stuff like that.
You know how many times I shot at teammates like, oops, sorry.
Stuff like that. That just makes it even, that makes it even worse because like I was just like talking about the campaign. The campaign was like somewhat shallow, but I don't even want to talk about the maps and the actual setup of the on multiplayer. Like you said, like everybody damn near looked like everybody, or it was like the camo wasn't good enough that you could see everybody anyway.
How about that OPS dog they gave out?
Oh, exactly. Like the dog was like so balanced in Modern Warfare. Like even though it was good, it was effective. You had a chance to break his neck, but
because they gave you a horde of them. But when they came to Ghost, they wanted you to have that fucking escort dog, and that shit could eat fucking millions of bullets.
Right, exactly.
But then, like when you're facing an enemy, it can eat millions of bullets. Then your shit goes out there. It's like one bullet, and you putting a little Johnny to rest. It's like, well, fuck. Ghost was.
Yeah, Ghost was probably. I mean, this particular generation was that those two had to be the one. I'm thinking about any other game. Like honestly, even with the Xbox One, PS4, we could talk about how bad games came out broken, but the games were not bad games. But I mean, the problem was the games were bad because they came out either broken or you had these crazy patches, or they were just lazy in development. But the concept of every game that came out was pretty much on point. But it's just like Ghost and Revolution to me, those like the. And I mean, even just for being bare bones, I can give Killzone Shadowfall one of the worst. But it wasn't a bad game. But that's just putting the standard to what all the games we had. I mean, I don't know. Drive Club can go in there, even though I like Drive Club because
really.
Of AI.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Okay,
yeah. I can say Drive Club because of the AI. Even though we're not talking about Madden, we can talk about basketball games because I did say non-Madden. I mean, we can obviously talk about NBA Live 16. That was another one.
Sure, I could probably mention one the Game Day series.
Ugh. Yeah.
That's another one.
And to culminate with the last one.
I would I have one.
Go ahead, it's your turn anyway, so go ahead.
So
first of all, before everybody who's here, I appreciate it. Neff, Young Noble, Real Football Gamer. Thank you guys for coming through. Neff started a new Twitter account. I can't remember the Twitter handle, but just you can check out the people who I follow. It's one of the least ones, last ones I follow. So he's doing an XFL on APF. I think that's kind of interesting. So check that out.
So my next one is the first Watch Dogs. And the reason I'm gonna say the first Watch Dogs is simple. You cannot have a quick time event as your boss battle. You can't end the game with a quick time event. I mean, what the fuck? Like, you can't end the game just on that alone. When I was like, yo, I worked way harder to get here than the fight when I actually get to the boss. It's a fucking quick time event. Nah, fam. Nah, that was horrible. That was almost like, how would I describe that? That's like going to a restaurant that you really didn't even want to go to, and then you get to it, and the one thing you want from there, they're like, oh yeah, we're out of that.
I never did finish Watch Dogs, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not finishing it because I really did. But
don't.
But I'm with you with that quick time event stuff. That was terrible.
That's just gonna piss me off.
Yeah, when I came to the end, I was just like, really? Yeah.
I was probably about 40% done, so I didn't even finish it.
Fam, a quick time event. I feel like Iverson talking about practice right now. Fucking time event.
Like, I've been sneaking around, hacking into shit.
Fucking
all I had to do was
walls and shit, right?
Press this button to in game. Oh,
Running
okay.
from them hard ass cops, the hardest cops I've ever experienced in video game history.
I'm like, you thought Need for Speed Hot Pursuit had some thirsty ass cops.
Oh my god, Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs. If you get 1 star on Watch Dogs, you gotta go hide. Fucking 1 star will have you ass arrested. Like, that game was so good for the most part up to that point, and then you get to that and you're just like, really? That's it? A fucking quick time event. Because the thing was,
I'm actually surprised that it did that. I mean, if you would have never said anything, I would have never known, and I would have went back and played that game because I think I got it on PC because I think when I bought my 480 graphics card, I think I got the code for free. I put the code in my Ubisoft account, but I never downloaded it. Now you just gave me a reason. I wish I would have never used the code. I just gave it to somebody. Because I'm not going to finish it if that's the case.
Oh, Real Football Gamer asked a good question before you left.
Did he? What's the question?
Well, he asked the best 2K basketball game, and then he said 2K11, which
that's not a bad pick, but
I'm gonna say 2K15.
I'll be honest. I think every 2K since then, with the exception of 2K18 and every 2K on the Xbox One and PS4 basically was better than 2K11. If we're talking gameplay, and we're talking depth as far as like modes, and I mean obviously everything they've done.
I think 2K11 was one of the most fleshed out basketball games.
It was, but that Jordan mode carried that game.
Yeah, I think when you look at it now, when you look at the controls of 2K11, I get it. I can see why people can say it's lower on the totem pole, but I think 2K11 cannot be forgotten because of what 2K11 revolutionized once it was released. It put basketball games on a much higher, it put it to a higher standard when it just came to basketball games in general. I mean, it was nothing like it prior to that. I mean, Live 10 was good, 2K10 was good, but when you saw 2K11, it was like that next step that we felt like it was almost borderline like the next gen experience without being next gen.
I compare NBA 2K11 to Jim Brown. I don't call Jim Brown the greatest running back of all time, but I think he gets his respect.
Right. I definitely can agree.
And I'm like, he was good, and he started it. But like DJ said, NBA 2K15 was a masterpiece, especially the lighting in the arena.
16 had really good post play too.
16 had good post play. The only thing is like the issue for me is the only way you can differentiate half of these 2Ks on this fucking generation is by the control scheme changing.
Control scheme and ball tangibility.
Ball tangibility. I mean, it's like
once 19 came out, that's when you really knew the ball tangibility was real. Then, 19 really put that up there. Because all the other ones weren't bad, but 19, you can swat the ball out of players' hands if they're like, trying to do a triple threat. I mean, that was unheard of prior.
And I'll also say that the addition of Ace, which wasn't around during 2K11, is another reason why I don't think 2K11 can be the greatest of all time, because their own franchise made it the standard after the fact.
That's what I'm saying. I think like you said, the Jim Browns, or you say like when it comes to another revolutionary player who cemented themselves in the realm of the genre, and it will never be forgotten regardless of what surpasses it. I think it's one of those games.
Right.
Because when 2K11 came, it was like, okay, this is the moment where everything else is stepping on this game to become better.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't have a great basketball game without looking back to what 2K11 did.
And 2K, and the thing is, 2K continues to basically create things that are the standard for basketball video games, whereas in obviously Live they haven't really done it. I mean, I guess you could say that their defensive engine on Live 19 was pretty revolutionary because of how you can branch and
live problem is basically what we talked about with Homefront Revolution.
Right.
You just got too many hands in the pot at the wrong time.
Yeah. But I'm saying strictly as far as the defense, like the on-ball defense mechanic in Live 19 was masterful. I mean, that was what everybody kind of was taking away from the demo was like, holy shit, this on-ball defense is real.
Right.
But at the same time, it wasn't OP until the actual game came out, and then all of a sudden the computer can't dribble worth of shit. But anyway.
Nef1 has a comment. Nef1 said that his worst game experience was MLB 2K6. Gameplay was horrible. Andrew Jones robbed me 98% of the time. I have MLB 2K6 on the Xbox, original Xbox. I did not play the 360. I think pretty much any 360 or pretty much 360 because that's the only console was out around that time in 06 or 05. Any 2006 game on the 360 was absolutely horrible. Madden, Live, MLB 2K. I mean, they didn't start perfecting their gameplay until like 07, 08. So yeah, I can totally understand where Neff's coming from.
The other thing is that MLB 2K always had things that were great ideas, but could never really implement them the way they should. Like, obviously, games before that didn't really have the engine where you could rob a home run the way you could in 2K. I mean, you could do it, but it wasn't.
Yeah, 2K just had the mechanics of the game was just good. It's just that with their games was just like you said, the gameplay just never linked up with the game. It was like you had more bugs than anything.
Yeah, like just like the pitching mechanic, right? They had.
I don't know. Nobody is using that now. MLB The Show should steal that, like straight up.
I think it's too hard for gamers these days. I think
gamers.
I think gamers wouldn't want to even attempt that. People who talk about MLB The Show being hard, imagine trying to throw a 12-6 curve with that fucking user interface back then.
Oh yeah, there's no way. I mean, if you perfect it, I mean, pitching feels great, but without it, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be throwing the ball over the pitcher. I mean, the catcher's head, and ball's gonna go in the dirt. You just don't know what to do. You're gonna be jacked up. So I mean, I get it.
People who haven't played MLB 2K, go back and look. All the hot zone previews before their bat starts, that was them.
Yep.
Requested spots to throw pitches, that was them.
2K Sports always did a good job of replicating the players. The problem was once Kush games left after 2K8, you saw the baseball and hockey franchise just fall apart.
Well, right now it looks like that the wrestling is about to fall apart because they may not have a 2K21.
And that's another game. I didn't even play that game, and that got to be some of people's worst game experiences just in the last couple of years. 2K wrestling just been terrible.
Yeah, I skipped 2K20 altogether. I have not looked back. I still play 19.
Yeah, I can imagine. You got anything else to add to your worst one before we jump, DJ?
I have Bills was a witness to this. H1Z1.
My nephew loves that game.
Make this a joint one. Make this a joint one between me and DJ because oh fuck.
I don't even have it recorded anymore, but it was just hilarity just to like I kept losing control over my player. Like he would get stuck and I couldn't move him anymore. Like
in the middle of a game, VF. Like motherfuckers can roll up and shoot both of us at any moment.
Wow, that's crazy.
And what was
DJ
it?
DJ couldn't move. He couldn't stand up. He couldn't do shit.
And the funny thing was, each time I had to hit pause. I had to do something to regain control.
No, you had to threaten the game to drop out. And they're like, "Oh, you want to move? Okay,
right."
Cool.
And then it would do it again, like moments later. And I haven't played that game since.
Wow, that's good. My nephew loves that game. I don't know if he still plays it, but at one point, no, it's not H1N1.
It was M1 though.
It's DayZ's the one my nephew plays. It's not that.
Me and DJ, we were like, yo, they don't have PUBG on
right. That we were waiting for PUBG for this one.
Because it took forever for it to come out on fucking PS4. So
right.
not even a watered down substitute at PUBG. It's like just watered down. Period.
Right. I mean, the gunplay was okay, and when we got the game to work, we did okay. But yeah, that experience was terrible. I mean, trying to get simple things to work on that game was really the main issue.
Right.
Just simple things, and then to have to concentrate on motherfuckers trying to hunt you down doesn't help.
That's crazy. I mean, anything else you want to add, DJ? Because I got another one that's gonna be pretty bad.
Well, VF, you and I can share a joint one in this one.
Battlefield 4.
Yes.
Battlefield 4
on initial release, just initial release.
The first 2 months. I mean, it wasn't. 3 months that game was terrible. I don't care what somebody say. Now it's one of the greatest shooters, but that was a horrible experience.
Yeah,
I mean, me and DJ, what was that? We was like
kept
in that
dropping out, and this was like the early stage. This was, if you think about it, it was like Battlefield 4 / PS4 initial, like how the communications was working. Like, yeah.
It was bad. I mean,
we get
into a corner.
Yeah,
we was spawning into a corner, just kept getting shot up. It was terrible.
Well, then on top of that, you pretty much add the initial release of PSN or PS4. I'm like, if anything that made that experience bad was the freaking what was it, PSN Live or whatever that was.
Yeah, when
that ruined not just my gaming experience, probably ruined initially my co-host's gaming experience, but it ruined a lot of people's gaming experience.
That game, if they didn't I mean, the game was so bad at one point, they even had their shareholders threaten to pull their money out of the game for future revenue. It was like, no, we're not going to support this if y'all can't fix this netcode. The netcode was terrible. Right. There were so many bugs in the game. The spawns was jacked up. The gun, the hit detection wasn't right. Trust me, the game is good now. I mean, I can't say now because I haven't played in a while. The game has been good since, but the beginning, you wouldn't even recognize that game. It was horrible. It was like the NBA elite of shooters at one point.
The only thing that was good about that game was the what the fuck they call that feature? Because you have destructible environments, but this one was like devastation across the board, where like a tower would fall. I forgot what they coined the phrase or what their marketing ploy was on that.
I remember what you're talking about.
That was the only thing that was good about it, and like literally people would gather to that building.
Siege of Shanghai, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Gather to that building just to start shooting out the pillars so they can make that building collapse. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I remember
some people, they weren't even trying to like fight. They just wanted to.
They literally just wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Shoot, imagine. And I remember being on top of it. The one of the 3 or 4 times I seen it. I remember being in the building when that thing collapsed, and I was just like, "Damn!" I'm like, people jumping off of it, parachuting, stuff like you don't get any of that in current battlefields, but
that was a great moment because I remember plenty of times I did that, and sometimes I tried to parachute out and I didn't make it, so like the whole screen goes sideways and it's
man. Also, you see nothing but smoke.
I'll add a bad gaming experience on Battlefield 4. How about Flood Zone 90% of the time?
Oh my god. That had to be the worst map in Battlefield 4.
You had to be
I performed the best on that map.
Here's my thing. So I like the concept of the map, but I don't like the people that play it because they knew how unsafe it was to traverse that map, and they could find little camping spots where you weren't ready for them at any point in time. Like, you'd pretty much know that somebody was around, but you never had an angle to like have a shootout with them.
Well,
and yeah,
I would think on top of that, people started camping on the rooftops.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They had an angle of you wherever you spawned. Hell, they have an angle of you on the street before you run into the building. Then they got claymores on the second levels, and It was bad, man.
I think you said, Bill, like the concept of the map was good, but it's just that the way people played it just made it really, really bad. Because like the way they play Flood Zone is kind of way, I'll take it back. The way they played the market on the DLC map is the way you would think they would play Flood Zone.
Yeah,
because the way they play market is much better. I mean, they still had the buildings you went in. It's just the water wasn't all over the place, but still, you would think that they'll play it the same way. But nah, it's jacked up. But
Flood Zone is basically fucking what's the name of that map from Modern Warfare with all those stores in the little Spanish market area?
Isn't it Karachi?
Is it Ramaza? Not Ramaza.
I can't remember the name.
I haven't played it in months either, but you know what map I'm talking about. It has all the storefronts. It has the alleys. It has one long ass walkway where they can stare you down from an alley and fucking shoot at you. Then they got the high skyscraper in the middle of the map.
I got it. Yeah.
That's how they play Flood Zone. They have angles to see you before you see them, and it's hard to get them out of those spots. But when you do, it's an accomplishment. You need RPGs and all sorts of things, but
y'all may not know about this game too much because I don't know much either. But I know what he's talking about. Luna Nocturne says my worst gaming experience is playing Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne in a boss fight and accidentally healing 7,500 health points to a boss.
How do you what?
When you play turn RPGs, sometimes you can try to give health points to people, to yourself or your friends, but if you put the cursor on the boss, I mean, I've done that in Final Fantasy VII. I mean, I haven't even played the new one. I can't wait to play that one, but I've done that in Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, it can happen. Also, he says his friend terrible gaming experience was getting the new PS3 and SOCOM 4 in 2011 without knowing the PSN takedown.
Now, first of all, I'm gonna say welcome because I've never seen you before. So welcome to the.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I didn't see him last week, so for me, welcome to the show. But yeah, I can imagine that being. I don't normally play RPGs and turn-based RPGs because I figured that was probably what it was. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I
75 health points are like, yo, you might as well just go ahead and just let them beat you at that point. Like, we'll just try this again. Mm-hmm. And for you, his friend not knowing about the PSN takedown, I'm like, obviously, whoever he bought that PS3 from straight up finessed them, because if you got it from a store, the store should have told him what was going on.
Yeah.
Like GameStop was like, oh shit, he doesn't know.
That's like for me, that's like the equivalent of like getting a drop on somebody and it's like, oh, I got a grenade wait for them, and you throw it, it hits the wall and lands right at your feet and blows up.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was around with the 2011 takedown. That was one of the worst gaming experiences as well, because I remember when like the day of it happening, I think it was like April 20th or something like that. And I was ready to play. Matter of fact, I was going to play some Mag. I was going to play Mag.
Oh God!
And went down.
That's a gaming. That's a bad gaming experience in itself.
You ready to get muted, don't you? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to my game. Come on.
Hey, you brought it up.
But when I went online, it wouldn't let us go in. And then when I went into I tried to go in the PlayStation Store, it said that it was down for maintenance. I was like, okay.
As always.
Yeah, as always.
They never tell you anything else.
So at the time, I was living in Charleston, South Carolina at the time, and I was just chilling. And someone told me while I was waiting for it, the maintenance to come back up, because like back then, I don't know if you guys, I know DJ knows, Bills may know as well, but people who listen to us, you may not know that PS3 was notorious for having maintenance problems on their online. The online was horrible back then.
Oh yeah, it was atrocious.
Yeah, it was really bad. So I was just on my laptop, just chilling, and just trying to kill some time. And then that's when I found out that Anonymous think that's the group's name. Like,
Anonymous. I remember.
yeah,
them.
they hacked the PSN network, and it was down for it was like literally down for like a couple of. It had to be like 2 or 3 hours prior to me getting on. I was like, oh, and then it was like, this going to be a situation where it's going to be down for a couple of days, or not a couple of days, but a couple of hours. No need to fret. Well, hours turned into a day, and I think after like the second or third day, they actually told everybody what actually happened, and it was down for like what 23, 24 days or something like that. It was down for
People were hot that day, or
yeah,
for that period of time.
Yeah, it was terrible. Let's
So,
see. Look that up.
BF, you got one or?
Oh yeah. My one before the Battlefield 4, obviously was the online version of Battlefield Hardline. That had to be one of the worst. I mean, the campaign was fine, and I get it, but that Battlefield 4 online was bad because of the bugs or whatever. And we got it because we can understand, because it was a transition from one console to the next. There was no reason for Battlefield Hardline to be that bad. And Battlefield Hardline was terrible. Bills could tell you just as bad as I could. The spawns were terrible. The modes that were built in the game were terrible. Some of the guns, except for that, I think it was like the S10 or something like that. That was the only good gun in the game at one point. I just didn't like.
Well, and on top of the fact that they tried to use money as that was the first time that they had it where you don't unlock guns, you buy them.
Okay,
which made it even worse because then you couldn't progress because you're like, "What is game's ass? How long am I gonna have to buy a fucking gun?"
You're right, because no matter what your level was, you still had to use money to buy a gun.
Use money to buy it. Yeah,
right. Oh, I got it right. It actually was on April 20th that it went down, but it was an attack happened on like the 18th, and it was out for 23 days.
Yeah, Battlefield Hardline was.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was.
I hate to hammer Battlefield, but I got another Battlefield one. So, I don't know if y'all remember Battlefield 3 too vividly, but they had the most OP fucking shotguns.
Oh yeah, the shotgun in the flashlight was OP.
And the flashlight, but my thing is, I hated when I'm shooting a motherfucker and the hit detection is delayed, so they fall in the middle of me shooting, and I don't know they're dead. And it's one of those things where it's like the bullets are not registering on time. It would fuck me up because I'm like, yo, like, how many times am I gonna shoot this motherfucker? And then of course that those couple extra seconds get you shot. So it's like Battlefield 3 was probably the last game where they had the really fleshed out destructible environments, because obviously Battlefield 2 was the best, right? And then
I kind of like the Nocturne guy. I like him.
Oh yeah.
We just got finished talking about Ghost too.
Yeah, it's just garbage. But no, yeah, Battlefield 3 had good destructible environments. 2 had the best, but then 4 they really dumbed it down. But Battlefield 3, the hit detection was an issue, and God, those fucking shotguns and flashlights, man.
No, the flashlights was the worst.
Those flashlights, it was almost like in real life, like it was like getting hit with a flashbang, except it's like a sustained flashbang.
Shit when that flashlight got
in your face. You know what? I was probably the only one who was not fazed by that flashlight.
I liked it.
Because it was, for me, it was just like, oh, there you are. I shoot at it.
I liked it, but it pissed me off because the thing was, like, most times the motherfuckers that hit you with the flashlight are camping. So they already have a,
or they're flying right around the corner or something.
Right? Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, man.
Like what was that map that's in Battlefield 4 now that was in Battlefield 3? Was it Metro? It was the worst in Metro. Yeah. I mean, it was horrible.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh God, Metro.
Another Battlefield one. And look, y'all would think we don't like Battlefield. It's not that we're saying that the games in general were bad experience, except Hardline. That shit was ass. But oh my God, VF can tell you getting stuck in that fucking map where it's like however many tickets to win.
Let me tell you before you finish.
Yeah, tell them, bro.
It was on 360. It was a 360, not 360. It was the Xbox One server because that's the time with me and you were playing on Xbox One. There was a server when you play Operation Locker. It wasn't Metro, it was Locker.
Yep.
Operation Locker had, I think it was like 1,200 or 1,500 tickets, and it was no time limit.
No time limit.
It was done when all the tickets were done. So we literally Bills, me and you was like
those games were 45 minutes minimum. So then you play that one, right? And then you're like, yo, VF, so you want to hop in a chain link? He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go play something else.
Yeah, we didn't want to play nothing else after that. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, you'll level up. You'll have like 5 new levels.
Oh, yeah. We discussed it for like 2 minutes. Like, 45. But we discussed it like, yo, you really want to go in there and do this mode? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? And then by the end, we're like, yo, I'm not gonna play Battlefield again because
it was the worst. I mean, it was fun, but
utter chaos. But
yeah. I mean, you had chairs and signs flying all over the place,
bro. Yo, and the thing was, the games were never close. They were never close. It was a blowout one way or the other. So, yeah, that was a negative. Not really negative. Anything having to do with the game itself.
It was just because the game was bad. I think it was just a bad experience. It just took too long. That was the epitome of having a bad gaming experience. It dragged out. I mean, it was like 15 tickets, and you would think like, okay, it'd be like a 30-minute time limit. There was no time limit. Whoever, I wonder if that server's still up and running.
No, because because here's the thing, right? Then the motherfuckers would sit and hide in the back of the fucking lobby.
Yeah, they weren't even in the subway no more. Right. They was like, we're out.
And it would take longer because you're not getting kills now. So it's like half of your team wants to camp, all of them want to camp. So it's like a standoff. It was, oh my God, it was so bad.
I mean, literally the minimum, and that was us actually making them fight us. It was a 45-minute game. If it wasn't that, like he's saying they were camping, you could be in that game for almost an hour and a half easily. It was terrible. It was terrible.
I can go way back for this bad gaming experience.
Okay.
For those of us that have been there since the very beginning of gaming, well, not saying that Nintendo was the beginning of gaming. Of course, it was like Atari, Coleco, and all that type of stuff.
And television.
Yeah, Commodore 64. But
but Nintendo, got a mini console for the Commodore 64.
Yeah, I'm hearing about that.
Why? Like who wants to play Berserk or something like that?
Who wants to play Dungeons and Dragons with just
right? Oh yeah, who wants to?
Whatever. But anyway, with the Nintendo, if you ever got to the point where your cartridge was dirty, or it got dirty, had dust on it, or it was damaged or whatnot, and you went to play it, and then while in the middle of playing, it would pixelate.
Oh God, yep.
And it would just like degenerate throughout the whole game. You think you can ward it off, and it'll give you some type of hope that, oh yeah, it's getting better. And all of a sudden the whole screen pixelates, even though you're still playing.
Right.
Yeah. When it got to that point, and you had to, and the infamous blow on the cartridge, do all these tricks to even, they had cleaners back then that you could do to clean out, but still, I rate that as that was probably the first bad gaming experience I ever had.
I mean, I was trying to put it. I can't find one on online. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can find it. I'm putting in the wrong words, but I remember I was playing Ninja Gaiden.
That's right, Lunar. Says dad told him endless stories about shit on his NES pixelating. Yep.
I mean, I'm I'm a baseball, and that happened to me, and I was in the bottom of like the seventh, and I was winning against my cousin, and he was like the bad news baseball guy, and I think he did something to it to make it pixelated because I was winning, but it was one of the worst experiences. I was so happy, and then I remember having to be a Ninja Gaiden. I got to level 5-1, and it just started pixelating, and there's nothing you can do. I'm like, you could try to shift the cartridge to the side to make it, by then the game will freeze up on you. So it's, I think Bills, I know you started out gaming, after that era, but I mean, just imagine.
I heard about it, man.
Yeah, just imagine you're playing a PlayStation 1 game and all of a sudden you get like a disc read error or something like that.
Oh God!
No, hold on. So now it's funny because like you were talking about people doing shit to sabotage you because you were winning. I know this is supposed to be non-Madden, but here's the thing: this is not a knock against Madden, and this is the only reason why I'm gonna bring this one up. This isn't a knock against the game. I was playing Madden 09 with my cousin. I was beating his ass. He starts coming back or whatever. It gets to within one touchdown, right? And it's 2 minutes left. I score. This motherfucker hit the rewind button.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh God, I remember that.
I was like, dude, I'm talking pick six, walking to the house celebrating. And that motherfucker hit the rewind button.
Wow.
I didn't want to play no more. I was like, you know, fuck off, bro. Fuck off. Like it was like, dude, it was a fourth down. If he didn't score, it was over. This motherfucker threw a pick six. I ran it back and he hit the rewind button. I was like, that is one of my worst as far as like head-to-head matchups. I've had some heartbreakers in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 playing my other cousin, but that was just like, ugh, that shit pissed me off.
Oh, I gotta respond to. Okay, so Lunar says, yeah, he was born in '99, but I know lots of old school games. Shoot, 1999 was, I think, the year of most.
Man, you making me feel old as shit.
Yo, 1999 was the Dreamcast era, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm 6 years older than this motherfucker.
But there were a lot
99
of,
was the straight Dreamcast era for me.
but there were a lot of broken games in '99. Like not like, well, yeah, broken in a sense that they were just not playable. Matter of fact, didn't Madden miss a year? Because
I don't know if they missed
I think
one,
it
but
wasn't it
Madden
99. Wait,
came out there.
which Madden didn't come out? Because there was one they had to cancel because it was.
No, it was I think it had to be Madden 99 on the N64. I think. Don't quote me on that because
Maybe it was 2001. Something like
I don't
that.
know which Madden it was.
Madden 01. Eddie George was on the cover, wasn't he?
Yeah, Eddie George was on that cover.
Wait a minute, who was on the 2000 cover?
Madden, right?
Himself.
Yeah.
I thought that was 99.
Madden been on the cover. Madden been all on the cover.
Oh, wait a minute. One of them was what? Okay, Eddie. You said Eddie George was on which one?
Madden 01, I think.
Madden himself had
Madden himself was on Madden 99 on the cover of Madden 99.
I think he'd been on the cover. Yeah,
I think his last. I think his last time on the cover was 2000.
Yeah, it was 2000. Then that's when Eddie George was the first person on the first player on the cover.
Then it must have been like 98 or no, not 98, maybe 97.
98 came out for the Saturn. I got that.
96. I think it was either 96 or no, there was a Madden. Damn, I'm trying to figure out which Madden missed the year.
I don't know.
Well, that's a rabbit hole. Let's see. Anybody want to bring up the Red Rings of Death?
Oh, don't do that.
360.
I had three of them.
I had three of them. Yeah, that
shows how big of a console that shit was. That you kept getting deaded and it was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get another one.
Right.
And what made me want to continue to get one was it was a Forza series. That's what made me want to continue to get a 360. It was the Forza series and it was Madden 08.
You don't know heartbreak if you have that Red Ring of Death, yo.
Right. Yeah.
Or having your fucking original Xbox version of NFL 2K5 keep saying disk unreadable.
No, that was the worst because I
Having to
remember
restart it,
I had this
eject
issue. I had this issue on my Dreamcast before I had it on the Xbox, and what it would do, like any red colors, it would tell you that it was the disc is not reader and maybe dirty or damaged. Because I used to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on my Dreamcast, and anytime I picked Spider-Man or who else had red in their costume, Colossus or Magneto. If I picked Ken when he had now mind you, I could pick them in different colors, it'll work fine, but it was something about that red color. It would say that. Now, my original Xbox, the one that I bought from 2001, which since died, it had the same issue because I used to play with the Falcons. For some reason, when I put them on the red jerseys, before it even go into the game, it would say there's a problem with your disc, it may be dirty or damaged. So I don't know if it was something with they were using the same lasers. I don't know what it is, but it was something about the red. If I played Forza and I wanted to Forza 1, and if I drive a red car, it'll say the same thing. Or if it was another red car on the track, something about the color red that the laser did not like, and it was a wrap. It's really weird. I can't say that happened to everybody, but both of my consoles is like that. And that console, that Dreamcast, I gave that to my cousin. I mean, I'm pretty sure he figured out what happened when I gave it to him, but I was like, yeah, you can keep it.
Another bad gaming experience was playing my cousin on fucking the dunk contest on NBA Live 05. That motherfucker was a problem on that fucking dunk contest. And half of those dunks were so hard to figure out.
I was about to say he had to master that shit.
Dude, I used to swear I was gonna beat him on that fucking dunk contest. It was fun. It was just really difficult.
Right.
Like the one that 2K had was, to me, it was kind of whack. But Live did it right. Even though it was a bit arcadey, they had the double between the legs and shit before anybody was like even close to capable of doing that shit. They had some over the top dunks, but it was still fun. But yeah, playing that motherfucker, I mean, that was the only mode he could ever beat me in. Was that fucking dunk contest, bro.
I really, but this going back to Call of Duty, I really hated the era where they had the heartbeat sensor attachment.
Really?
Yes, that was the most cheatiness. That's
I agree with that.
Add-on attachment that you could have to a gun that really showcased that you was a big fucking noob. Have a heart rate sensor on your gun so you can find people when you can't do it by yourself because you're bad at gaming.
I'll say this. I'll say the heartbeat sensor is bad.
And Commando Pro. If you had that combo, you were just a bitch.
The heartbeat sensor is some bullshit. But the fact that a camper could plant a fucking camera to watch a door in Modern Warfare 2 takes the cake for me.
Yeah.
A stationary fucking surveillance camera? That's what we're doing? Like, I had to go back and look that shit up. Modern Warfare 2, for people who think camping is bad right now, which it is, but go back and watch some gameplay in Modern Warfare 2. Motherfuckers have surveillance cameras in other rooms. Like, come on, man. That's just next level bitch made.
You can't call yourself a good first person shooter gamer if you run around claiming that your kill death ratio is great and you run around for heartbeat sensor.
Right.
And then had the nerve to plant claymores in the corner.
But planting claymores and fucking, you got a camera looking out the window and shit. Like, come on, man.
But you know what? The whole experience of dealing with camping came from Halo.
Yeah.
Because Halo had spots where you could not escape from people camping because they eventually had to make maps where people could get to certain spots where people could camp, but you could still flank them and whatnot. No, Halo had places you could just camp and nobody could do anything about it. So fuck you, Halo, for making camping popular.
I never like Halo anyway.
I mean, I'm okay with Halo, the campaign. I never was a fan of the online. Never was a fan of the online.
I wasn't a fan of that damn shotgun melee combo. It was overpowered. And then that goddamn pistol. You could kill somebody in 3 shots, take away their shield in 1, and kill them with 2 more shots. I'm like, just from a pistol alone. And then the needler. Oh, fuck that needler. I don't think anybody's familiar with that needler, but that's the thing. You could hold down the button and it would shoot a whole bunch of spikes, and they were homing missiles type weapon, and they find you and they stick to you, and then they blow up all at once. Yeah, fuck that gun.
I would say another bad gaming experience with Call of Duty was the hit detection in Black Ops 2 until they fixed it.
Oh God.
that hit detection in Black Ops 2 was a fucking farce.
Yeah, that
for the longest time.
That was really bad because
Lord Jesus
was terrible in that game.
To the point where you had to go to hardcore to even kill somebody with 5 bullets. Like, it was crazy how many bullets it was taking to kill people on core. Then they fixed it, and Black Ops 2 was one of the better games ever, at least in the Call of Duty series, but it had some issues early on, man. It definitely has some issues, man.
All right, just something random. I'm at the same time. I got the right now the Nationals since they're replaying Game 7 of the World Series, they also have a Facebook Live thing going on, and they all collectively laughed at once when the announcers was like Garrett Cole's warming up in the bullpen.
That's
like you got Max Scherzer down in Yinglings in the Zoom chat, and you got people that are on this thing. Max Scherzer, Anibal Sanchez, Steven Strasburg, Sean Doolittle, and Zimmerman. He's in there too. Ryan Zimmerman. I think that's Brian Dozier. I'm not exactly sure who that is in the top right corner, but yeah, I've been watching this along with being in the podcast, so I'm multitasking here, but it's been fun.
I'll tell you another bad gaming experience: trading anything in at GameStop. that was a shitty gaming experience right there. You can turn a PS4 Pro, a fucking Xbox One X, and all the games you own. They'll be like, all right, that'll be $17.55. That's what you like, store credit or? Oh,
yeah, I mean, like to this day, I mean, even with the quarantine shit, you can go and do a walk up to the front door if they're still open. They still try to give you like $4 for like 20 games or some shit.
Fuck them. That's why they ass going out of business soon.
Yeah, they're not gonna like. Yeah, let me tell you something. Their stock went up by 20% today, which is actually unbelievable. But
what, from $1 to $2 or $1.20?
Yeah, it went like $4 to like $5, something like that.
Oh,
man, that 80, that yeah, moving on up in the world.
Right.
Oh my god.
Okay. Here's another one. No Mercy. You get to a certain point in playing that game, and then it resets because it had a bad memory card chip within the game.
Yeah, I remember that.
If you didn't save it on a separate memory card, all your created characters gone. Any progress you made in a single player gone. I'm like, practically what will happen in mid, like it'll go from one scene where you have everything, next scene gone, and there was no fix for it. There were plenty of possible fixes, but there was nothing for it.
Oh fuck, we said non-Madden, so I can't say the one I was gonna say. I had one pop up in my head too. It would have been perfect, but fuck it, I'll figure out another one. Oh my god. Shit, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of them, but I kind of remember more of the positives. Oh, that fucking Spider-Man game that came out in 2012. That shit was ass. Amazing Spider-Man, yeah, amazing. All right, amazing how fucking garbage that game was. That was the worst graphics I saw on that generation.
Bro, I thought something was wrong with my game.
Nah.
Oh, why not? No.
Amazing Spider-Man 2012. That game
Is it really that bad?
Bro.
Damn, they got Patrick Corbin.
All right, I'm gonna show you what I'm playing right now because this has got to be literally one of the worst games ever. Just to give everybody a heads up of what's going on with me. Let's see.
Oh boy.
Because I thought my game was broken because I couldn't play it. Let's see.
What the? Wait, is this NBA? What is this?
That's elite. That's elite.
The game kept glitching out on me, right? So I was like, I thought something was wrong because it would continue to stutter. So I was just playing it just to give everybody a. Oh, there it is. It's doing it now. Never mind. Oh, I'm taking the shot down.
Yeah, how you look like
look how bad the game is going in now.
How you look like you streaming where you're not. I know, right? That's what that game is. It's funny because I wanted to try
stopping and going. Like
I wanted to try Elite, like just for like curiosity.
I remember playing that demo.
That demo was
I made a video off of that because I thought it might have really just being shared technology, but I was like, look, they ripped off of NHL. See the little thing at the top right corner?
Yeah, they did.
That demo was something else, man.
Oh man!
Now NHL basically just put that in their replay mode, which is kind of cool because it shows you basically what button presses you did.
Right, so you can't sit there and be like, I pressed this button. The game's like, no, you didn't.
Nah, nah, you didn't.
Fine, bitch.
I need to figure out. Like, I was playing this game like the other day, and I was just noticing it, and I was like, I wonder if it's just I need to
clean shaven Derrick Rose.
Yeah, that was like,
I need to reinstall.
Innocent looking Kevin Durant.
It's like it's nothing I can do about it. I mean, the game is like glitched out that bad. Now.
Kevin Durant without that fucking.
Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Most of what is that? It said your legend. What the hell?
That's the my player one.
That was the my player mode, yeah.
Yeah. That was the my player in the game.
Yeah, it's like it looks fine now.
For some reason when I go play the
had good cloth physics.
I was gonna say
when I go play like any other modes, it like if I play now, it'll like
there it is.
It's funny because the dribbling doesn't look bad, but everything else looks so awkward because nobody can really master the buttons.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh wow, he's moonwalking.
Because the left, because your hands and your feet are separate, which I don't know why. In theory, I get why they did it, but it makes the game look so awkward, bro.
Right. I mean, the controls are just terrible.
Like, it's not even the animations, it's just playing it. It automatically makes the game look bad because you don't know what the fuck you're doing half the time. That's really what the issue is. The game isn't as bad as they make it seem. That's why I said when they just put out those official gameplay videos, I was like, okay, it's not half bad. But then when a regular person plays it who doesn't sit and play it all day and try to master it, it looks like shit because they made the button scheme. So I mean, do they have an alternate button scheme, or is that
you can change them to be like live 10.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Damn, bro, I wish I could find this game. I know it costs fucking arm and a leg wherever people
if you get a physical copy of this game is almost $4,000.
Fuck that.
Like no joke. Like I got this hard drive on my hard drive, and
I'm cool.
Because I mean, when I had a physical copy of the game and I sold it like back in this had to be like 2013 or something like that.
Another bad gaming experience: the ice skating rink that was NBA 2K12.
Oh god.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, I agree. That was pretty bad.
NBA 2K12 should be remembered as the game where they had pretty much the greatest legends mode. You know, they had all the black and white. They had the tables. They had everything down to everything, the filters and everything, which they never
The
brought
filter
back.
was nice. Yeah, they had the filters for the old school teams and everything. It just
The
the problem
graphics
with the
and the
footing was just
broadcast.
terrible.
Oh yeah,
That's what the game should be remembered for, but instead,
that intro was actually pretty nice too.
oh, the intro was crazy.
Remember when games had crazy ass intros? And now
Yo,
it's just like,
I think my favorite one was Madden 08.
what happened in that intro?
So Madden 08,
memory.
Madden 08 had Mr. Holier Than Thou himself, Ray Lewis, given some type of
Was that
like,
13? I think that was 13.
Wait a minute, hold up.
No,
You talking
no.
about
Madden 08 with Vince
Wasn't
on the cover.
13 that had Ray Lewis doing the same thing?
They kept going from gameplay to real life when they were showing the graphics, and he was talking. He was giving like some crazy. It wasn't just him. I think Brian Dawkins talked in it, and they were just showing the teams, and it was like a dope ass intro because they were basically giving a pregame speech, like a pregame huddle speech. It was dope. Let me see if I can find it. I'll send it away.
You sure that was 08? I remember that being in 13.
Nah, hold on. I'm gonna send it to you.
No, that had to been like that. Let's see. Cause I'm trying to the
I got it right here. I'm about to send it.
Okay.
The song that played with it. It wasn't like a song, but it was like just music that played with it. Cause they kind of started.
Real football game to ask what game is this? This
Here
is
it is.
Elite 11.
You said I stopped playing 2K ball around 12. You forced it.
Really?
There you go. I sent it to the
Okay.
DM.
I'll check it. But yeah, it's just for some reason my game has been acting up, and then speaking about worst gaming experiences, this got to be really one of them. You know,
The entire game.
the game is pretty bad. I mean, it's cool, but this game is not that good at all. Let me go back. Where's the?
I'm trying to figure out what gaming intro I liked. I like
Here it is, right here, Bills.
Oh, here we go.
See the control settings, say elite, then you can do the alternate. And the alternate are basically like NBA Live's 10, basically.
Layup adjust, dunk adjust.
I really wish I could get my hands on that game.
Yeah, they're basically just like Live 10. I think the only difference with Live 10 is between the two, the back down is with L3. And hey, that's pretty much it.
You know, I just remembered
The back down used to be the triangle in Live 10.
God, I just remembered when they changed it in NBA 2K11 to whatever the fuck they changed it to. The back down button. They
the back
changed
down
like
button in 2K11 was you had to hold down both of the triggers.
yeah, dude. They changed. It's funny because that was the best post game I'd ever played.
Yeah, it was pretty bad with the control, but when you actually was in the back down mode, it was actually
They had a bunch of like signature gathers for jump shots too. Like they had Kobe had like some crazy shit in his like jump shot gather package. It was crazy.
I'm backing out.
That game gonna crash.
Uh-oh.
Because like for some reason, I don't know if it's my PlayStation 3 or what. It just because I'm not able to every time when I play a game, it's like it'll keep stuttering. I'm like,
oh look, it's the ESPN license that EA squandered.
Right.
Pretty much.
And didn't use.
All right, let's see. But yeah, I mean, anything else y'all got as far as worst games? Because I mean, if I can go back even further,
I got one.
I maybe around.
Oh, you know what? I remember there was one and it involved MLB The Show.
Oh.
Remember that year that I had to force them to give me a refund?
Oh fuck!
Oh, was it because
when they completely flubbed that fucking digital? Oh,
yeah, they flubbed the digital release, and a bunch of us just went nuts on Twitter.
We were up till like 4 a.m.
Right. It was like, well, maybe they'll release it West Coast time at 12. And
nope. We couldn't preload it.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't even fucking download it, let alone play it. We couldn't download it.
I wound up getting the physical.
Me too.
I still have.
Yeah, I ended up getting a physical copy.
Me too. I ended up going to GameStop and getting the fucking physical copy, and then by then, of course, they had fixed it.
Right. And then I wound up forcing a refund. And that's, I think, right after I got my refund, and maybe some others got their refund. I remember they put out a disclaimer. It was like, "Oh, we're no longer putting out refunds if you bought a digital copy. All sales are final," or blah 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 blah. And then they had to moonwalk that.
Well, that's the end of this bullshit ass game.
but that obviously that was with Sony, and that was just like you're gonna wind up regretting saying that. And of course, like I said, they moonwalked.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
Bullshit. It was fucking terrible, bro.
Yo, Derrick Rose hop stepped and ended up in the same spot he started from.
It didn't go anywhere.
Yo, that was egregious. What the fuck?
And then just to get it to run smoothly, it's like all pixelated. Well, at least on my end,
it was like one of the filters.
No. That's how it looks on the screen. That's how it looks on the screen. It doesn't look like that on here. It doesn't look like that.
Oh my god!
It looks like that on mine. I like the names are glowing, kind of, but it's just
it's definitely it's just a stream.
Yeah.
Like when you try to run a game through StreamYard, it looks bad. I mean, because I've done it before, but the game don't look that blurry. It just is going through StreamYard, and that's what it does.
So, I know you remember this VF. Forza 5 with the fucking DLC.
Yeah, I love
those microtransactions were ridiculous.
Damn, they got Jan Gomes in here now.
It seemed like 90% of the fucking cars in the game were behind a paywall.
They were. We lost the ball.
I was about to say, just shoot that jump shot with Noah if you real. Ew.
You can't do shit with this game because it's too loose. Like the animations don't mean nothing. Like nothing is tangible. There's no 2-man animations in this game.
That's another thing. They wanted to go fully physics, right?
Right.
That was the only like bright spot was they wanted to go fully physics.
Oh god. Like it's not. Are you playing with the Live 10 controls?
No. I'm playing with the Elite controls.
Oh yeah, I can tell. Now I can see. Yeah. Oh, he clamped you though until you hit that jump shot in fucking face. I was like, good defense. Oops. Bum ass Rodney Stuckey.
Wow.
Oh, you just got. Ooh.
His last name is a tag name. Stuckey.
Oh, Noah got put in the fucking basket. Young Noble said, "I'd rather watch paint dry than play this pile of shit."
Man, all I know is everybody shared the bad gaming experience when Elite 11 got put on a blender by Hard 8.
Oh god,
yeah. You know what's funny? You know, Hard 8's like the original Hard 8 video of Elite 11 wasn't the
that was nice. I don't know if
it wasn't the first one I saw. But it was actually the response. Like it was like somebody else had filmed that actual video. Well,
this shit is lagging hard.
Yeah, it is. But somebody had filmed themselves watching Hard 8's video and laughing like crazy. That was the video I saw. But then I seen Hard 8's original video. But that shit was funny. And then what was it? It only took like a few days, and Elite 11.
Them motherfuckers canceled the game the day of the release party.
Yes, they was like, nope, we're not doing it.
Motherfuckers said, you see that pizza? You can take that shit home. take that shit home.
Jesus Bynum glitch. And you know what's funny? You know, within the last year, I posted a picture that Jesus Bynum glitch popped up in I think it was Madden 19 or Madden.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it popped up in there. I was just like, oh,
yeah, you know what's funny? Andrew Bynum's career was never the same either.
Mm-hmm. That's the only big fame, big attention he got was that
he fucked around and grew out that damn Joe Jackson ass afro when he didn't play a single game for Philly that year. He got paid all that money, and then that was it. Oh, and he elbowed JJ Barea out of the air and got ejected when they got swept by Dallas that year. So there was that. So yeah.
Man.
All right, we're still there. I was just making sure.
They're showing some fucking, what is ESPN2, like the fucking video game channel now? What the fuck is this shit?
Well, I guess so. I'm only going back to their roots.
Oh, God.
All right, let's look at this. What?
Yeah, your picture is the default picture now.
I know it just went away, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Star Wars Battlefront. I was so hyped about that game.
I was hyped about the game. The game was rushed, so freaking bland.
Oh yeah, because they took out the single player campaign and there was some other stuff they took out. Running into Darth Vader on the battlefield, that was like a scary moment. I think I uploaded a video where I ran into somebody controlling Darth Vader.
And them motherfuckers swore they were nice too. You're not nice. You just got the most OP guy in the fucking game. Motherfucker was a Grim Reaper.
And young Noble. You see. Okay,
the truth.
Hate drive them play.
The NBA Elite 11 is the truth, bro.
Nah, that means you haven't watched paint dry. That's what that means.
Nah, Elite 11 was canceled by the truth.
God, that shit was.
Nah, if you play with the live 10 controls, is much better. But
they didn't give you the option. They didn't give you the option on the demo too either, which is another reason why I turned people.
I don't think they did. No,
they didn't.
But yeah, it's a mess. They had good intentions, but it was a mess. I think if it's another game, I can go back a little bit. I remember playing Clay Fighters on Super Nintendo. That was terrible. Faceball 2000 was another one. Garbage.
Oh.
I'll tell you, I was pretty annoyed when I play WWF Warzone. I think I had Austin on the cover. Yeah, fucking Bret Hart used to beat my ass in that game. Yo, that motherfucker used to annoy the shit out of me in that game. Because I always picked Austin.
That was the only game that I actually got good at chain button combos.
That was the closest I got to No Mercy. Was that?
I'm trying to figure out. That was the only time that you felt like you could pull off a reversal and then into a finisher.
Right.
Yeah, that game was dope. That game, especially for its time, that game was dope as hell. And the intro was dope because it was like the Raw's War intro.
Mm-hmm.
WCW Mayhem and
that game was crazy too.
Yeah, that was horrible. I was looking. They hyped that game so much, and you know who made that game? EA.
Oh God.
Yes, it was. I think they had switched because it was I think it was Acclaim or whatever before then, but.
Oh God!
And all them left, and then it went to EA.
You just reminded me of another one. Yo, WCW Thunder was ass.
Oh yeah, that was the one on PlayStation, right?
I got that game in a fucking flea market. That shit was garbage.
Wow.
And them damn short intros.
Fucking short intros with the little box in the corner.
I remember that game because I remember I had that on PlayStation.
That game was ass.
Young Noble said that he said MLB 2K9 franchise mode was freezing in the middle of your season and they never fixed it.
Never fixed it, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that was
2K9 was good too. I think
not a priority. It's like we deal with it.
Oh, I got another one. What was the name of the game? Fucking not Thunder. It was another wrestling game that was just utter. Legends of Wrestling.
I never
played that one.
That game had the greatest roster ever, but the gameplay was fucking horrible.
I never played that game, and I said I wanted to play it.
They had every wrestler you would ever think of that you could ever think of in your mind.
Because I actually thought about buying that game on 360. I actually thought about buying that game.
So there were three of them, I think. There was the first one, there was the second one, and then there was Legends of Wrestling. What did they call it? Showdown or some shit like that. But they had every wrestler you could think of, bro. And the game was just the worst gameplay ever. But it was crazy because the concept that they had for their career mode was dope. They actually would tell you had to go out and job for somebody. Like they'll tell you have to go out and lose. So it was kind of dope because it was almost like you were actually in the wrestling business. It was kind of crazy. Other than that, the game was ass.
Okay, I got one that I remember I used to play. It was an NES game called Tag Team Wrestling.
Oh,
I've seen gameplay of it before.
I remember playing that.
I was about to share. I'm about to share the link on it so people could see it.
Yeah, I remember playing that. That's pretty bad. I remember that one.
And the thing was, it was like, okay, you only had two teams. You only had two teams to fight, but they tried to pull it off. Like they had different colored tights and stuff like that. But then there was a steady increase in difficulty. That was the part I hated the most, is that you get to a certain part, they could instantly get to their finishers. They could hit you and put you in a state, and it was just like, come on, really? And they could move faster than you could.
Yeah, that was their sense of difficulty.
I was just like, come on, really? Like, we doing this?
Yeah, that was the bullshit sense of difficulty that they had in the game. That's crazy. You got the link?
Yeah, I sent it. I sent it in the private chat.
Okay, that's all I was looking. Okay, I got it.
On StreamYard. Everybody can see this game.
So that's a YouTube video. Paste.
I had
I think the second Akari Warriors game was bad. I'm like, your character couldn't really do anything at all that it did in the original game.
Come on, bro. Yeah, I remember this so much. Yo, I remember this. Look at this shit.
Oh God.
Yo, I remember that.
Is that China?
No, no. I'm about to say this game came out in 1983.
Why were they fighting in Dubai?
That's what it looks like.
Yep, I remember saying this. Yep.
Sweet Saudi money.
Oh man!
Wow, that brings back memories right there.
Super Showdown.
Man.
Pac-Man on the Atari 2600 was the worst. That game was horrible. I remember playing that.
I had
Real Football Gamer got another comment real quick. He said that if gameplay is bad on the game, I just can't play it no matter how the other things are going on. For instance, Madden 12 gameplay is too repetitive. Great franchise though. Couldn't play it long when I got Madden 08. Madden 12 wasn't too bad. Still like Madden
12 had the worst running animation in the history of video games.
Madden 12 did?
That hunchback fucking legs running on a treadmill ass running that they had.
I think you're right, because I think around Madden 11 and
Peyton
12, hell, even going into 13, you had that hunchback running that Smitty tried to defend.
Oh. Well, I mean, come on. Smitty tried to defend the fullbacks in Madden 15, so.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm just telling you what's happening.
Coming from, and this is the podcast to say non-Madden. We just basically ad-libbed a bunch of shitty problems in Madden.
And listen, I'm just trying to tell you what the man did.
Madden 15. Yo, it's crazy because Madden 15 had the inaccuracies down pat, yo. That was the one game where we're like, oh, y'all finally got it right. Where we're not completing every pass, and every pass isn't perfect. You can throw the ball at a receiver's feet if you're not using the right quarterback.
Madden 15 problem was basically there was no tackling.
The fullbacks.
That too. I mean, players would literally run into each other's fall over. There was really no tackling.
I thought that was when I was 13 more mainly.
No, 13 just had bad physics, period.
Well, yeah. Yeah, 13.
15, there was just no animations to tackle at some points. It was just that bad.
You know what? Fuck it. Since we're talking about Madden, long shot.
I never played it.
Lucky
I didn't even want to touch it.
I envy you.
I got through long shot.
I got through it, but it was it gave me 2K storyline vibes, except it was bad. At least with 2K, yeah, it's forced, and every year they come up with some bullshit story, and it's like, okay, whatever. But EA was like, I didn't like it.
Right.
QB1 was, I mean, I started QB1, but I never really went too far into it. But wait, did I? Hold on, now I gotta
DJ,
think.
did you play any of these modes?
Long shot.
Did you play QB1? I'm trying to think if I played it now.
I started to play it, but I was just like, nah. And yeah,
You know what? I
I'm
didn't play
stopped.
QB1. Now I take it back. I didn't play QB1.
Yeah,
I said I wasn't going to, but I guess when I get my Xbox One X, I'll try it out.
Yeah, that mode. Young
Noble says QB1. No, QB number 1 on your team is ass. His name's Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh wow.
No, that QB1 now is Nick Foles. It doesn't make it any better, but
no. Well, he's QB1 in waiting. He's not QB1 yet.
It could have been QB who wore the jersey number 1, but
oh well.
I guess y'all don't like black QBs in Chicago.
Okay, you know how that goes. Like we really, and you would think a city like Chicago wouldn't be like that, but never mind.
They ain't in the poor part of Chicago.
Matt Nagy said my name sounds a lot like the word I want to call Cam Newton.
Damn, did a job, man. Like him and Jameis is like still out there.
That's crazy.
Jameis, I can believe. Cam Newton, I just think the Panthers sabotaged him.
Low key, I can believe that.
No, but I wouldn't say never. You had Cutler for a year, and then that flamed out. And Brandon Marshall
was straight
Grossman took y'all to the Super Bowl.
Well, he didn't exactly. He went along the ride. He didn't really take them to a Super Bowl.
Nobody say it wasn't Cutler. It was
But they better take what they can get.
It was in spite of Grossman that they made the Super Bowl that year.
I'm about to say, like, well, thinking.
Their special teams and defense got rid of a fucking 17 or 21 point lead by the Cardinals that year.
Yeah, true.
On Monday Night Football. I gotta go back and watch that game. They have it on YouTube, on the NFL Network, on the NFL YouTube channel. I always go back and watch that game because I'm still amazed at how quickly things turned. That was pretty much the last time Matt Leinart was like relevant in the NFL.
Isn't he like some analyst now on CBS or something like that?
Analyst or something like that. He said the Packers had Cutler. Well, look, I mean, the Packers stop y'all out mostly every time y'all play, so it's not surprising. I mean, Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown like 60 yards on one leg against y'all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Madden's had
yeah, because the one thing that still remains that's always a bad experience whenever I play is when they do the cutscenes and everybody's the same height. They shrink the linemen to be the size of the wide receivers and so on and so on. I was just like, come on.
Or the fact that every time you have a penalty, the coach does the same dumbass animation where he's
he's so distraught,
trying to get the refs' attention.
But wait a minute, hold up. They said there were no refs in the game. Hold up.
well, live gameplay. They're like, oh, APF 2K8 got the ref throwing the flag out? Fuck that game. Y'all ain't getting no reps. Oh, man.
Anything else got before we go?
I can't think of any other games. I think we pretty much.
I was trying to think a couple more before we finish. I can't think of any game.
Madden 11. There you go.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Baseball.
Non-Madden and Madden 11 is horrible. That game is terrible.
I think Roger Clemens baseball back on the NES days, the Genesis days.
Yeah, that was a Genesis game.
Man, that game.
Roger Clemens was
the only player that was named in that game. Roger Clemens. Everybody else was like the default player number 2 and
right. So kind of like the first Joe Montana football. Like Joe Montana was the only one in it.
I'll tell you another bad one. Another bad experience I had. This is probably the last one I can come up with. I put Top Spin 4 in the other day.
Oh man, I remember.
It had the nerve to try to play the computer on very hard.
Why?
Man, That computer beat my ass, yo.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Game is so difficult because it's the only tennis game you have to play literally according to your guy's strengths.
Right.
And I compare it to UFC Undisputed 3 because it was the same way. If you pick a fighter and you don't play according to his strengths, or you don't play according to the weaknesses of your opponent, you're fucked. And it's the same way in topspin forward. Like Roger Federer had amazing placement of the ball. He didn't have the most power. Andy Roddick had the most power. But when you played Roger Federer, you realize why he was the best on the game. Like immediately.
Right.
Everybody had their strengths on that game. Even the Asian dude whose name escapes me right now. He was crazy fast, and he could place the ball wherever he wanted to. It was just annoying as shit. Everybody on very hard on that game was a crazy challenge.
Damn, they even got Brian Dozier on this Zoom chat. Damn, they getting everybody.
But you got any?
Wait a minute, you were going in and out for a second. What's going on?
He's asking.
No, I said, you got anything before we go?
Nothing else. I did just put out a video today with City Skylines. I'm actually thinking about doing a series, so
I kind of missed that game a little bit.
So definitely go check it out. Again, and also I have more State of Decay 2 episode 4 released, I think, on Monday. Well, today. That was yesterday. So
City Skylines kind of overwhelmed me a little bit.
Yeah, I think what I'm doing is that I'm gonna, because the video I put out, I just recorded just some gameplay I had already started on my city. But what I'm gonna do for the very first episode, like clean, everything's gonna be clean. It's and start from the beginning, and it's just gonna go through the game according to my view. I'm not gonna speak on the fact that I'm an expert in the game, which I don't claim to be an expert in City Skylines or any type of city management experience, but it does help you understand what city managers, on the surface, what city managers go through. Obviously, city managers go through way a lot more than what you deal with in City Skylines, but that's my whole purpose of that series.
Okay. Bills, what you got?
Thanks everybody for coming through, and this was definitely fun. I mean, you know, it was a negative episode from the perspective of us talking about worst gaming experience, but at the same time, y'all know we don't always harp on the negatives in games. This was more so just a fun topic to kind of laugh at some shit that we've seen in the past and that experience with that was just shitty.
Yeah, I felt that more of it was a negative positive. I mean, we turned it into a positive.
We weren't hammering on the games like bashing devs, and it was just like, you know, certain games were shit.
Yeah, I just some games just was not good at all. They could have done a better job at doing certain things in some of these games, but
and we still ended up talking about pauses still. So
yeah.
Oh, another random thing. They just got Anthony Rendon on the Zoom video chat. So, yes, my wish was granted.
Okay. As for me, probably it won't happen today. I mean, not tomorrow. It probably won't happen tomorrow. It'll probably be Friday when I stream a game, because I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to tell you right now. So I'll probably end up doing NCAA 08. Then throughout the weekend, I'll probably be doing something different because I finally got my setup to where I can really stream other games without any interference. Like I was talking about my upscaler.
Oh, so we get an Elite 11 now.
Yeah, we can get Elite 11. Yeah, man.
No, we can't. Fuck that.
Yeah, man.
Game is
I'm gonna have Joaquin Noah playing point too.
Shit, in that game, anything's possible.
Right. So just getting that out the way. Other than that, it's gonna be same old. Catch us all on Twitter. Bills, you may not find him on Twitter, but hell, you know, you can follow him anyway. All that's in the description. Check out DJ's content. So you know, he's putting out more good stuff. So you know, I'll check it out as well. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you can't catch us live, you're catching the back end of this, and you didn't catch up the earlier parts, you can download on iTunes and SoundCloud or Google Play. And pretty much, I'm good. That's it. So we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Yep.
We'll probably have something, I guess, more upbeat to talk about, I guess.
The best gaming experience.
Yeah, I know it might be the best gaming experience. Yeah, we're so dope. We're lazy as shit when it comes to topics.
Well, I tell you what, hopefully y'all don't get y'all stimulus checks with Trump's name on it, because apparently he wants his name on them checks. And
really?
It's about to cause a delay.
Well, shit, I'm getting my shit right in the pocket. I don't have to see that shit.
See how many people are gonna be hypocrites now. I don't want money from that motherfucker. Well, his name's on that $1,200 check. Give me that check.
But on the serious note, y'all stay safe. I mean, things are getting better when it comes to this virus, but that don't mean you need to fall back and just be complacent. You still get sick from this nasty ass shit. So, like Young Noble said, right in the chat, says stay safe.
Assholes and shit.
Right. like Noble said, stay safe. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. We don't want to hear about nobody catching nothing.
Be safe.
Wash your ass.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you said that. But wash your motherfucking hands. Wash your hands, wash your face, wash your booty hole, wash all that shit.
Wash your booty.
Whoa. Yeah, time for y'all to be nasty. Good night.